Hello and welcome back to Serious Sam Part 4. In this episode, we are opening in the Oasis, one of the not one of the more open areas, but a very open level. And yes, we'll be introduced to the swarm of harpies gimmick that will become a recurring theme throughout the game.
Yay! Oh, I hear some friends.
Yes, there are kamikaze zombies, clear harpies, biomechs. If you have a full ammo rocket launcher, it would be probably the best idea to use it against the larger enemies during this segment.
This is the opening of the level?
Yes, this is the opening of the level. If you recall from the last time we did, recordings from Serious Sam, which was it 2 weeks ago?
No, it was last week.
All right. I mentioned that Serious Sam does this thing where it throws every enemy type that you've encountered so far at you all at once. It does this a lot.
I'll say.
In quantities that most other video games would think, well, that's kind of excessive, isn't it? And it is very excessive, at least on the harder difficulties where you have, less ammo.
Why so serious?
Now, why so serious? And here is a new weapon type. Can you guess how many times I'll be using this particular weapon?
All the time?
No, I will never use the damn grenade launcher.
And... But why is it so useless?
Oh, it's not useless. It actually does technically more damage than the rocket launcher does. But, well, it has... I think the grenade launcher has got less maximum ammo than the rocket launcher does, and it is still an actual artillery weapon, so it's a bit more difficult for me to use. And it's not like the Unreal Tournament flat cannon, where the artillery does so much more damage that it's actually worthwhile. We blew up the statue.
Got you. Secret bouncer has been found?
Yes.
So we're going to the VIP room?
I am attempting... sound attack secret has been found.
Yeah, there are all kinds of secrets in this game.
Yes.
And not like Super Mario Sunshine secrets. No, these are hidden things.
Super Mario 64 secrets tend to be, additional power stars.
Yeah, and the Super Mario Sunshine secrets were levels inside of levels.
Yeah. I can't finish Sunshine for some reason.
It's okay, Gerda. Not a lot of people can get serious about Sunshine.
Let us get ambushed by poison toads.
Destroy all the toads. They are all part of one consciousness, and they all look derpy as shit.
And this is why it's a good idea to have the Tommy gun out for this. It is a pretty kickin' track, though.
Yeah, it is. I'm dancing.
The only unfortunate thing is that the Serious Sam audio mixing is not really all the best on default settings, so yeah, you'll notice that the Tommy gun actually drowns out a majority of the audio tracks.
Not this one, no. This is actually a really good...
It doesn't quite drown it out, but the track would be better without the Tommy gun fire.
This is fucking, like, great, like, what do you call it? EDM?
Yes, EDM. Oh look, more ammo.
It's time to get serious. If you got a nickel,
they tend to use the war triple exclamation point track whenever we get ambushed by the frogs. And yes, we'll get ambushed by the frogs again at least one more time in the game.
Triple exclamation point track?
Yes. It's war with... I'm pretty sure the track is literally called war with 3 exclamation points, because that's the only lyric in the entire track.
So you looked up the original soundtrack for this game?
I did not, but I assume that's what it's called, given that that's almost exactly what the that's what Crow Team would do, you know. There.
Ah. Look at all the poop splatters everywhere. Toad Rush.
Yep. Oh, hello, biotech.
Biotech. Biotech. Say what? It's Godzilla.
No, this is Godzilla.
That was Sepultura. Moving on.
There.
Do you like the Tommy gun, Gerdat?
I do, honestly. I think that the Tommy gun is the second most effective weapon in the game.
I just the fact that you never have to reload it really sells it for me.
Yep.
Just.
Although none of the weapons you honestly have to reload. I mean, the double barrel coach gun has got a cooldown time, but it's not a reload, honestly.
I think Sam moves his arms a little too much while he's walking like that.
Perhaps. But there we have successfully obtained the water element.
Perhaps with the element of water, we can cool fucking Serious Sam's fiery ballsack.
And next we are moving on to the Dunes level. Don't worry, there are no references to the actual Dune movie.
We're in Tennessee.
We are not in Tennessee. We are still in ancient Egypt. That is a lot of Syrian werebulls.
And they all died basically on their way over here. Jeez, you really, you know, when these guys get past you, your inclination is to turn around to intercept them, but then you lose track of the people who are still coming.
Yep.
Damn.
It's one of the minor faults that the enemy design in Serious Sam suffers from.
Oh, not this part.
Because there are so many goddamn enemies. If any of them get past you, it becomes much more a method of trying to survive the additional onslaught of dudes behind you, as well as the dudes that are still coming at you.
Oh my god, I love the fact that you could see those guys clear as day even when they're like 100 feet out.
And this is the first level where enemy spawns being tied to power-ups really starts to bite the player.
Oh.
You cannot start this next section until you actually go into the center there and start picking up stuff.
I mean, clearly they want you to get it so badly. Now that you've gotten your armor, let's take it away.
Yep. There is dust from the Syrian werewolves.
Who's throwing those?
What?
Who's throwing those?
Although the iron bolas are being thrown by the clear. It's one of the lesser reasons to dislike the clear.
Oh my god, they give you so much fucking ammo in this game.
And on easy mode. On normal mode, you actually do start starving for ammo from at certain points.
Kamikaze shouldn't go by himself, then he is a fool. Kamikaze should go as a group, and then they are an army.
Like this, you mean?
Yes, this is more closely to the army that I mean.
If I recall correctly, one of Serious Sam's more well-respected games is actually a rail shooter. And I think the VR game is actually on rails for the most part. Yes, there's a VR game for Serious Sam. I've not actually played it, but I'm pretty sure it's the on rails game.
That sounds pretty shitty, not gonna lie. Gerda, you recall that earlier in the week you and I were talking about Eric Cartman from South Park?
Yes, we were.
You ever see the episode where he gets the butt people over his house because he makes them think that they're he's their long lost son?
No.
Oh, all right. So there's one episode where Cartman, for his elementary school photo, he pulls down his pants and moons the camera. But because it's a like a yearbook picture, and then it makes it into the newspaper or whatever, then there are these people who have asses for heads who believe that because Cartman's ass is in the picture that he's actually their long lost son. And when
he's not allowed to take a plasma cannon to their faces because he's still Eric Cartman, but he doesn't have access to a plasma cannon.
Yes, and Eric Cartman, upon finally meeting the butt people, blows a funny fuse, as he calls it. He finds something that is so screamingly hilarious right in front of his face that he actually loses the ability to laugh for the rest of his life.
For the rest of the episode.
For the rest of the episode, yeah. He does eventually start laughing again, but then he says, I just saw something that's so stupidly funny that I don't think I'll ever find anything funny again. Nothing. And that's what happened to me, actually, just a short while ago. We were listening to this epic battle music and screaming kamikaze zombies were everywhere, but I couldn't laugh because it was too goddamn funny.
I will admit that there is a certain amount of comedy when it comes to the sheer number of enemies that Serious Sam takes down, but it doesn't feel very comedic when you're actually in combat. I mean, at least on the higher difficulty settings.
Oh, in the higher difficulty settings, I'm sure all the humor gets drained out pretty quickly.
Yeah. I probably should have tried to at least play the game on normal mode, but given the fact that I have difficulty going through even the third level on normal mode, yeah, I was not doing that. This is another case of Gurdet being a pansy, so there.
What Gurdet has done successfully is provide a tour of this game.
Yes. And that's really all. I think that I'm qualified to do when it comes to video games, at least in general.
You raise the difficulty sometimes.
Sometimes, but not all that often, honestly. I mean, the Unreal playthrough was done on normal mode, but yeah, that is Serious Sam being, mostly a Southern cowboy stereotype.
He doesn't have a drawl.
He can fake one, though.
He sure could. Yeah! Oh, and of course we would have... Now entering Memphis, the capital of Tennessee.
Yep. Well, one of the major cities of Egypt, actually, but...
Yeah. The villagers are attacking.
Well, no, the kamikaze space forces are attacking.
These guys, as much as I love them, I can totally understand why people would hate them on the higher difficulties.
I don't know if they actually move faster on the higher difficulties. I assume they do, but I'm not sure.
It's not that they would move faster. It's that they would do more damage, and that increase in damage is complicated by, well, if you're surrounded by them and they're all screaming, you can't really tell which one is closest.
Right. The surround sound system in the game certainly does work, but it gets difficult when there's more than like 3 kamikaze soldiers around.
Oh yeah. No, you are confused when that much activity is going on in the soundscape.
Now, what I'm not showing off in Memphis, honestly, is a bunch of the hidden enemy spawns, because Memphis, the Memphis suburbs specifically, have a lot of enemy spawns that are hidden off by ammo secrets. And yeah, that's really a majority of what the Memphis suburbs are about, honestly.
And in the next part, apparently we're going to open the secret staircase
Into the sewers.
into the sewers.